Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Claire and this is Claire's Neverland of Books. Today I'm going to be bringing you a TBR for Romantasy BookCon. Look at that. My tattoos are healing. I love them so much. Romantasy BookCon is a new up-and-coming book convention. I'm very excited about it. They're coming to LA in February next year, and when I found out about it, I had to get tickets. So I'm going with my little cousin that lives down in the LA area. So we are going to be living our best lives, going to meet all these fantasy romance authors, and I cannot wait. But to prepare for it, I got to read some of these authors. There's a lot of authors on this list that I have not read from. I'm going to be honest. I heard Melissa K. Rourke was going and Penn Cole. And those two were the authors that I was like, sold, I'm buying tickets. I'll figure out the rest later. I don't regret a thing. So, today I'm going to be bringing you a list of books that I might or might not pick up before February. We'll see how it goes. I think I'm going to do a vlog series on it where I'm going to spin a spinner wheel to pick my books that I read so that I can get through some of these books because they're all really high priority and I want to read them before this event. So we're just going to jump on right in. I'm going to break it up into 3 sections. I have books that I own by some of the authors that are going to be there. Books that I have on my Kindle from like a Stuff Your Kindle Day event. I had a ton of them on there when I was going through the list and I was like, wow, maybe I should prioritize those. And then a list of just other authors I want to read. I lied. Actually, a 4th little section of authors I've read from, but want to read more from, too. So, let's get on into it. So first on the list for books that I own, we're putting The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owens on this list. I got to meet her at a Polycon this year, and she was such a sweetheart, but I have still yet to pick up a book by her. And I own 2. I own this one and The Rogue King. That's a tentative. This is the high priority. This is Greek gods meets the Hunger Games. Basically, every 100 years, the gods come down and pick a victor that will compete for them to become the king of the gods, basically. And our main character has a run-in with Hades, and he picks her as his victor person. Victor sounds very Hunger Games. But Hades has never entered the games because he's the king of the underworld. He already is a king in his own power. So it's very weird for him to do that. I did start this book when it first came out. I got about 50 pages into it and I was really enjoying it. I just wasn't in the right frame of mind for reading at the time. So I put it down, but it's something I definitely want to pick up really soon. My dog's just staring at me like, Mom, what are you doing? Oh, poor baby. Next is from Devils Walt. I have a couple of books by her. I have Promise and Fire and then The Vampire Bargains. I think I'm going to go for The Vampire Bargains over the other one. This is about Katana, who's one of the most powerful witches in their area. A fierce defender of witchkind and humanity, she stands on the basin against the vicious threat of Vampire Kingdom, rising to become the deadliest vampire hunter the world has ever known. That is until her lover betrays her in cold blood, sealing her away in a magical prison so he can take her power for himself. She's stuck there for 50 years, and who rescues her? A vampire. A romance coming from that? I don't know. It sounds good. I picked it up on a whim. It was like $10 on Amazon, so I was like, I might as well give it a try. Let's see how it goes. Excited to give this one a go. Next, we have Kingdom of Blood and Salt by Alexis Calder. This is a human fae romance. It says, in the last human kingdom, securing our future requires a sacrifice. I just never imagined it would be my heart. After spending years training to defend my people from our enemies, I never expected that my enemy would be the one keeping me alive. Athos is the last human city. A treaty with the fae keep the fae, the vampires, and the wolf shifters at bay, while we fight against the dragons at our border. Being a human in this world is dangerous, and we almost make sacrifices to survive. When the delegation sent by the Fae King arrives to claim the human tributes required by our treaty. I never expected to forge a connection with their leader. So it sounds like she gets taken to uphold this treaty and probably falls in love. I don't know. It's been on my TBR for a while, and I figured that I should probably get to it. Next, we have Crown of Blood and Glass by Lucinda Dark and Rebecca Gray. Rebecca Gray is the author that's going to be there at Romantasy BookCon, but Lucinda Dark is also Lucy Smoke. I met her at a Polycon this past year. She was sweet. I meant to read this for a Polycon. Did not get to it, so I'm hoping to get to it for a Romantasy BookCon so that I can meet Rebecca. This is a spicy, I believe, fantasy romance. It says, Awakened Fates. Betrayed by a friend, saved by an enemy. My closest friend has lost his mind. He killed my father, took over my kingdom, and despite the blood that now stains his hands, he claims we are fated to be together. My salvation comes from the most unlikely of sources. To reclaim my throne, I'll have to rely on the one man I've hated my entire life for survival. I'm all about enemies to lovers. Sounds like that's right up my alley. Can't wait for that one. Next, we have Long Live by V.B. Lacey. This is a, I think, like, no spice romantasy. I think it probably borderlines YA more so. But it says, across the realm, 4 ancient beings who control the elements of nature are awakening. So it sounds like it's elemental magic. I'm always a sucker for elemental magic. The Air Awakened series by Elise Kova. Absolutely adore it. So I'm excited to give this one a go. It says, Isla lives an ordinary life in her small village of Lockhart. Since losing both her mother and the man she loved 2 years ago, all she wants is stability and peace. But her world is forever changed when her family is attacked on a journey away from home, and she must travel to the Atarian mountain range to find them. I'm guessing she meets an elemental or 2 or 4. I think it's a dual or a multi POV, and I think we get the point of views of all of the different elementals and our main character, which I think is fun. But this is a duology. Love duologies. This author also has special editions of this series, so I do want to read it so that I can try it before her pre-order closes, so that I can get those if I like them. They also have the book In the Wake of the Wicked, which I need to read because I had an arc of it. I need to get to that one really, really soon. Then we have one that I know, these next 2 actually are both, Claire, you haven't read that? What's wrong with you? The Bridge Kingdom by Daniel Jensen. Yeah, have not read this series yet. I've heard such great things about it from my booktube friends, from my real life friends that absolutely love this series, so I really, really, really need to give it a try. Especially because by the time you're seeing this, I probably already bought the Arcane Society editions of this series without having read it. No regrets. Y'all know what the Bridge Kingdom is about, and if you don't, let me just give you a brief summary. This is about Laura, who has always been trained to be the bride of a neighboring kingdom so that she can infiltrate and assassinate him. There are 2 kingdoms on opposite sides of a bridge, and that's why it's called the Bridge Kingdom. There's like a keeper of the bridge, and it's a lot of political mumbo jumbo that I believe I will thoroughly enjoy because I love political fantasy. So throw in a little bit of a romance in there, and I know I'm going to eat it up. So definitely will be getting to this one soon. And then along the same vein as the Bridge Kingdom, one that I have not read yet that I'm a little embarrassed to say is Guild by Raven Kennedy. I know. We all know the Plated Prisoners series. I just haven't gotten around to it. It wasn't a complete series, and not complete series within the indie world scare me. So it did get picked up traditionally. It has been getting republished, and then the new books have been coming out. But book 6 just came out recently, so I finally decided to make the plunge to get it. And I also told myself if I could find the edition that had the, like, will it focus? The, like, gold dripping down, that I would pick them up. So I was at Target last week, and they had it. So I got it. We're going to give it a try. We'll see. I've heard that I'm probably not going to love it. but I'm being hopeful. I know I have to get past book 1, so this is on the TBR as well. Now on to books that I have on my Kindle through like Stuff Your Kindle Day and such, like little freebies that the authors did. First we have up Living Legends by Ali Shanti. This author, I believe, was also at a Polycon. Maybe. I don't know. I think they're also going to a Polycon this next year. So I really need to prioritize this, especially because I already have it on my Kindle. There's no excuses. This says it's perfect for first-time fantasy readers and lovers of hot tension, courtesy of forced proximity, quick-witted banter, well-rounded characters, and edge-of-your-seat plot twists. Let the world of Ali Shanti's debut novel, Living Legends, envelop you and send you on a ride you won't forget. It says she's been called from her place in the darkness to aid the side of good in the last place she wants to be. He'll have to join forces with the last entity he expected, but sometimes true loyalties lie in the most unexpected places. I think it's like an angel-esque romance. I'm definitely excited to give this one a try. Next we have The Wrath of the Serpent by Alison Aldridge. This is a like Scottish folklore book, I believe. This one says, a mortal champion, the Prince of Death, entangled in a deadly game. Gaining the powers she craves may cost her everything. It sounds like it's a bit of like a capture the flag type of book, and then she ends up in some deadly trials. I'm always a fan for some deadly trials. They're always fun. This one just sounds up my alley. It has a really pretty cover, I think. And I do believe that that's a snake on the cover, which will work for Bree's 25 and 25 bingo board. Just saying, if anybody needs some recommendations, I'll leave a link to Bree's announcement video down below so that you guys can check it out, because I'm definitely going to be doing it. And this one might be for my Serpent one. Next we have A Kingdom of Frost and Malice by Ashley McLeo. This one says, blood slave to courtier of the Winter Fae. You'd think I'd move up. I'm not so sure. The auction blocks awaits and a vicious vampire prince wants me and what flows through my veins. So I make a run for it, only to end up falling at the feet of a Fae warden. Technically Roar, the warden of the West, should return me to the vampire court, but he has other ideas. He needs a fake fiance. Fake dating / marriages of convenience. Love them. This one definitely sounds up my alley. Don't really know much more. Don't really want to, like a lot of these, but definitely high priority for me. Next we have Disenchanted by Brianna Shugaliski. I'm probably butchering that, and I apologize. But this says, the Princess Bride and Buffy the Vampire Slayer meet Sarah J. Maas's Throne of Glass in this Breton-inspired fantasy debut, brimming with weary humor, epic adventure, and an irresistible romance. I don't need much more than that. Those are all buzzwords for me. So I'm definitely going to be giving this one a go. Next we have The Dagger and the Forbidden Heir by Amelia J. This says Throne of Glass meets House of Dragons. Sounds wonderful. It says, can they survive the truth of their war? Can their hearts? A century ago an exchange was proposed, a life saved for a war of revenge. For Captain Leah Soul of the Fae Army and the secret bastard daughter of the king, she's reminded of those consequences daily. Unable to claim her heritage or her throne, she's powerless to stop the innocent bloodshed that her birth ushered in. Sounds intriguing. Definitely want to give that one a go. Next we have Lord of the Hunt by Kate King. This says, Fae games will change you, but their love will ruin you. At least that's what my mom told me. My mother had 3 rules. 1, never make a bargain with a fairy. 2, never enter the Waywoods on hunting day. And 3, never give the high Fae princess a reason to notice you. But even when I followed all those rules, the royal Fae still took my family from me. So in one night, I broke all 3 rules and brought the kingdom to their knees. Sold. Love it. Cannot wait to give this one a go. We'll see what the spinner wheel has in store for me, but this could be a good one. And last for books that I own on my Kindle is Red Alphas by Michelle Hercules. This is a paranormal wolf shifter reverse harem. I need no other information than that because paranormal shifters, reverse harem, sold. Absolutely excited to give this one a go. This is like probably one of the highest priority books for me, so I'm really, really hoping my spinner wheel picks it for me. Okay, now on to the new to me authors, like truly hadn't heard of before looking at this list and trying to figure out what I wanted to read. We have The Demon Prince by Amanda Agee. This is a obviously demon romance. It says, I'm Alice and my mother sold my soul to the devil. Worse, he plans to give me to his son as a bride. So we've got like son of the devil romance. I can get behind that. This cover is stunning and I really am intrigued. Next we have The Shadow Heir by CFE Black. This is it sounds like a fae romance. It says, he is the Prince of Shadows, bound to do the will of his court. She is about to shatter the darkness. On Zara's 20th birthday, she expects to be married to the love of her life, not stolen by the Shadow Prince, and hurled into a world where death awaits her at every turn. For 1 year, she will be forced to endure dangerous trials intended to entertain the fae. Determined to do whatever it takes to survive and return to her home, Zara seeks an escape. But what she never expected is to find herself indebted to the Shadow Prince himself. Interesting. That last little section kind of gave me like ACOTAR trial vibes with, if you know, you know. But I'm still intrigued and excited to give this one a go. That cover is stunning too. So definitely on the list. This next one, this cover sucked me right in and I was like, I need to figure this one out. It's called One Little Nightmare by Dawn Darling. The taglines for this one say, a paranoid schizophrenic with a dark passenger lurking in the shadows, a broken siren who would give anything to end her curse, a mystery girl with all the trauma of her past written on her body, a beautiful nightmare. It's got like an insane asylum setting. It sounds like ancient gods, monsters, the works, but this cover is just beautiful and it sounds really dark and epic. So can't wait. Very excited for this one. Really want this one to come up soon. The next we have A Cursed Son by De Liteo. I'm sure I'm saying that incorrectly and I apologize, but this cover is beautiful, first of all. Second of all, this author has a really pretty special edition available for pre-order and I would like to read it so that I can decide if I want to buy it or not before the pre-order closes. This says, romantic and sexy dreams link a false princess to a dangerous, disgraced fae prince in this fun, steamy enemies to lover romantasy. In her dreams, he envelops her in love. In real life, he imprisons her in ice. I don't need much more. It sounds fun. And it's stunning, and the special edition's stunning, so really need to give this one a try. Next we have Whispers in the Deep by Emma Han. This author was at a Polycon. I watched her on a panel and I really liked her personality. So this book has been on my radar since then. Have yet to pick it up. Need to pick it up. It's like dark mermaid romantasy. I don't know. It's very spicy, she said. Very, very intrigued about how mermaids can have fun. So, this one's on my list. Can't wait to give it a try. Next, we have The Blood That Binds Us by Erin Menard. This sounds really interesting. It's like a blood witch magic type thing. Ren has never stolen a life, but that doesn't stop her from believing her darkness makes her a walking nightmare. Harboring a power so lethal, unpredictable, and entirely forbidden by kingdom law, Ren spent her whole life hiding what she is, who she is, a blood witch. Sounds like war's looming, good versus evil, maybe a prince has to help her. doesn't want to help her. I don't know. Sounds really good. Just from that little tagline, really intrigued, really excited to give this one a go. Next we have The Devils Walt by Jessie Elliott. This has been on my radar for a while. I've been following this author on Instagram for quite a while too. I believe she also has like contemporary romances, but this says it's been 5 years since her sister was killed by a demon, and Camille Morgan swore off the family business of demon hunting. Now, a college sophomore, Cammie is determined to get her degree and move away from Seattle and all things paranormal. But when Cammie becomes a target of a demon attack, she's convinced it's a ploy by her parents to drag her back into training. The wildly charming and attractive Xander Kane comes to her rescue. Except her saver isn't a hunter, or even human. Xander is a demon, the alluring prince of hell, whose magnetic presence leaves Cammie both captivated and conflicted, especially when she finds out his plans on using her to destroy the demon hunters once and for all. Love it. Definitely want to get to this one very soon. Alright, we got 2 more in this section. We have Seduced by the Werewolves by Lainey Riley. This sounds like it's about a woman who like hates her job, decides that she wants to escape, and ends up on like the side of the road. Gets picked up by some guys that are harboring a secret. Sounds like they might be werewolves. It's a reverse harem. It's wolf shifters. There's gonna be some nodding, some smutty goodness. Definitely want to check this one out. I think the day I'm filming it comes out the next day. So I really am hoping that I might pick this up before the end of the year. But this sounds like something right up my alley. And last in this section, we have The Useless Witch by Savannah Lee. I don't know what it is about this book, but this cover is making me want to read it. I don't know what it's about really at all. But it sounds like there are like nightmare stories that like you tell your kids to like keep them from doing bad things, and they're called the Dark Wings, and so you grew up feared of them but thinking they're not real but still fearful, and then they end up being real. I really don't know much about it. There's just something about this cover that I am so drawn to, and I really am just intrigued by the cover. I'm a sucker for a beautiful cover, so I want to give this one a try. See if I like it. Alright, and then for my last section, we're going to talk about some authors that I've already read from and have previously loved or enjoyed, and then books that I want to read by them. So first we have A Throne of Broken Gods by Amber V. Nicole. This is book 2 in the... It's not called the Book of Azrael series, but it's book 2 to A Book of Azrael. I enjoyed the Book of Azrael enough that I want to continue. So I would like to continue sooner rather than later. So that's on the list. Then we also have an author that I truly, truly, truly love. I've read basically all of her Romantasy though. So we have Holly Renee, who also has contemporary romance. So she's got a book called Where Good Girls Go to Die. And she has really pretty special editions of these books. And she will be also at a Polycon, so I'm hoping that I can get most of these read before a Polycon, because LA is closer to me than DC is. So I'm driving to LA, so I will have more room to bring books home rather than shipping books home. So I would prefer to get more books at LA versus a Polycon. So I would like to get to this before then so that I can know if I should order her special editions or not. But that just sounds like a fun, hot romance with some good stories going on. Then we have, from Stacey Marie Brown, we have Land of Ashes. This is book 7 in the Savage Land series. It's technically still in the same world, obviously, but it's following different characters that we followed in the Savage Land series, but it's following Ash, and it's his story. And I really, really, really need to continue on with this story. But I do believe that Arcane Society is going to finish their editions with these 2 books. So I wouldn't be buying them from the author, but I do still just really want to read them. Then another author that's attending that I have read a lot of their backlists and loved is Trisha Levenseller. So I have from her that I still need to read The Darkness Within Us. This is like a companion novel to The Darkness Between Us, which came out a few years ago, and I read it in like one sitting. I got it in the mail, and I sat down on my couch, and I just laid there, and I read the whole book in one sitting. I really enjoyed it, had a great time. This follows, I believe, the main character of that book's sister in this one. So it should be able to be read as a standalone, but like it would just spoil like the events probably of like book one if you hadn't read it. Then we have Karina Halley. I have been reading Karina Halley for years, and I adore her. Though some of her books are misses for me sometimes. They're just pretty mid, but a lot of the times I love her books. So I bought A Ship of Bone and Teeth at a Polycon last year. This is a really pretty like special edition that I think Bookish Signs did with her. But I need to read this. Hopefully before Romantasy BookCon, but I need to read it soon because Arcane's doing some special editions of it, so I might want to buy them. So this is really a high priority for me too, even though I've already read from her before. And then lastly on this list is another that I've read one book from this author. I'm really intrigued with this series, and I really want to continue because I do already own a special edition of it. I also wouldn't be buying pre-orders from her because I've been purchasing special editions of her series from book box companies, which means I would continue those series through the book box companies instead of buying standard editions. But that is L.J. Andrews, and The Everqueen is the book specifically that I need to read. I read The Everking earlier this year, I think in March for Realmathon, and I really need to pick up book 2 soon. Sooner rather than later. This is a just beautiful, like, stunning edition from Arcane Society. They give us the prettiest editions ever. But this is also on the list. So, not a very high priority, obviously, because I already own it. I'm not going to be buying from the author, but I just would like to have more of their backlist being read so that I can like talk to them about it when I go meet them there at the event. So this one's also on the list. Alright guys, that's all I got for you. I don't even know how many books I went through. It's going to be a lot, but like I said, it wasn't even all of them. So I have made a purchase. I purchased a spinner wheel. So some vlogs will be coming where we're going to pick what books I read off of this TBR. Probably some of the like lower priority too that I didn't talk about with a spinner wheel, and we will see how that turns out. So thank you so much for watching today. If you'd like to give this video a big thumbs up, I would really appreciate it, and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know down in the comments if you're interested in Romantasy BookCon, if you had heard of it, or if you're going. Are any of these books on your TBR? Anything sound interesting to you? You want a buddy read? Let me know. You know I'm a buddy reader. If you'd like to leave me an emoji to say you were here, leave me a mermaid emoji down in the comments. Until next time, guys. Bye!